Well, hello there and welcome to another live stream of the xTool Squad host. Today I want to do some testing. We're gonna continue on the beginner live streams as the title says. And last time we made a very nice test engraving on wood. I will show you. For those who haven't seen it, we came out with actually some nice results. Here's the difference between a bitmap and here is the vector. So there's a lot of nice things that we can see from that. And I would like to go and test on different types of materials. So I think my mic was a little bit away. So I prepared a little bit for this. And as you can see, I'm not in my normal height or environment because it's holiday time. I'm having guests. So if you might hear anything around, I have company at the moment. So yeah, I will just show you what I prepared for today. For those who don't know it, there is a new code. This way, there. I keep mistaking that. There is the new code. It's Nicole 6%. That will give you 6% off of any machines, except for the most newest one. So the Wonder Press and the Omni, they are excluded from that because they are simply too new. For the rest of the machines, you have a nice discount. And on this side here, that is the link to my xTool host. And if you would like to have a demo in person or online, you can go through there to book one. Above me, you can see all my links in case that you want to ask some questions in person or you want to follow me, what I do within my own little company, Sew It. You can go through there and you can find all the ways how you can contact me. So let's just go to my screen. And here you see what I did. So the last time you can see here, this is what we did. We made an engraving test with a vector and with a bitmap to showcase what we did. Now, I have been going around my workshop and I try to find different materials. Most of them I have here laying aside of me. Rock, paper, and scissors. Yes. So it's like trying. I'm gonna try in the next coming streams. I'm gonna take one or two, and then we're just gonna see if we can find the right settings, and then see what is the difference between a vector or a bitmap for each material. Because the one material is better on a bitmap, and some are better on fabric. So that is what I plan to do. So I don't know if anybody has a preference what we're gonna try it on first for today. I'm actually quite intrigued maybe to go with the paper because I haven't done that on stream yet. It's also for me a year ago that I last worked with paper. So maybe that might be nice to refresh that. So I think that is maybe what I'm gonna do. It's like this paper. It's black cardstock. Yes, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well, Ron. It's nice to see you here. So I would like to go and test the black cardstock out. So I'm gonna see if I can find here paper, and then we can see what kind of paper we have. I think this one might be good. That looks a lot like what I have. Sorry if I'm distracted, they're trolling around here next to me, so. Okay, what I first start off with is turning everything off. You see that here, you see that it is not on and it is not off. Hello, Straw. Hope you're doing well. So I will turn everything off because we're not going to use everything. And we're going to start with this one, that's the black paper. So I'm just going to copy it. And then very conveniently, we're going to just create a new canvas. And we're just going to put it on there. So Ctrl C and Ctrl V again. And then we have the beginning for this. Dog? What do you mean with dog, Ron? You see my dog? Is that what you meant? I mean, she's always laying at my feet here. It's my little office mascot. So, okay, I'm gonna see with the cardstock, and you see it gave 25% in actually in the vector, but not in the. That's quite remarkable because, oh no, it's actually correct because this is 300. So, doctor, what? I have no idea what you mean. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see what you wrote earlier. Oh, that's sad. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I missed that one message. I'm a little bit distracted today. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, damn. I'm sorry to hear that. And that's a lot of waiting time. Hope they can help you though, as soon as you finally get your turn. Okay, so I'm gonna explain a little bit. Is what we tested the last time is that for a bitmap, you see that there are shades and gradients. So the lighter the shade is, the less power it is gonna make, gonna use on the machine. The laser uses less power. So whereas a vector is always dark black. So for this one, the light area might not be as helpful, having enough power to actually show something when it wants to engrave the dark areas. So there might be too much of a difference with that. So, okay, I will tell you in a second. I need to quickly check something out. One moment. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry, I thought that someone was falling down the stairs or anything, but I guess pubers just take the stairs in a different way than adults. Anyway, today I'm showing that I picked one of the materials because last time we did the the test on a piece of wood, and we noticed that there is like differences between using a vector or using a bitmap. And from that, I actually had the question, does that go for everything? But that doesn't go for everything, because I can already tell you that me engraving a bitmap on leather is not going to work as good as a vector, because it can't really handle the shades. It's not gonna give a good result. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, from here on, I'm gonna have a few episodes in the beginner streams where we're just gonna test a singular material, and then we're gonna see, okay, what works best. And so we just take it like step by step. So for today, I chose the black paper. I used this black paper in the past to create some Christmas business cards because we had like a Christmas market, and when people then purchased something, they got a nice greeting card with my data in Christmas style. And it actually turned out really beautiful because I had like a very beautiful like Christmas tree on a magical background, and it's really nice. So that is also something that will be important to think about, because this is now black. And when you engrave on something that's gonna leave a lighter result than on the original material, then you're gonna need to invert the image. That also goes, for example, if you work on glass. If I put this on glass, she's gonna look inverted because the transparent is, in between quotes, darker than the white that comes on top of the glass that will show. So that is kind of the thing. So now maybe should we do a little engraving test, a very tiny one? I think that might be very wise because I haven't done a lot. So maybe we should just make that part of our process. And then everybody that has never done that can see how that works. So I took this one and I say material test. Here you can see already, because we chose the material up front, then you can see already what it has been doing as a result for other people in the past. And you can also see you have like a bit of a safer range to practice on, because if I'm gonna blast 100 power on my paper, it's just gonna catch fire. And well, that is something that we of course at all times want to prevent. So now we can put the settings in here, and I don't think that we need so many. So we're gonna go with 4 columns, maybe. It's 4 by 4, maybe 3 by 3. I want to see again, what did they show? Because this might be too intense. I think we're gonna be between this area. I can't enlarge that. Because actually this area here looks nicest, cleanest, right? Because the rest already starts to have like little bits and bobs. So I think we go from 15 power to 35. Let's see, this is power, 15 to 35. and the speed is a minimum of 300. I think that is also absolutely fine. And we're gonna go to 500. And now if I click this away, we will also be able to see this. It will do 15, 25 and 35 and 300, 400 and 500. I think that should also be absolutely fine. If we now make it more columns and more rows, then you see that the steps are also going to change. Then it goes 15, 22, 29, 35. So that is kind of something to play around with. And of course, on how detailed would you like to go? You know, do you want, like, for example, this one here is, I could still refine it to my taste, because I have had like a challenge between here, what I liked most, but it was good enough. But I could say, okay, I'm gonna test between those, because the one was just not too much and the other one was just too little. So I want to know where is the sweet spot in that, and that is why you can make like a smaller one. So now I'm gonna go indefinitely now for a smaller one, even though it's nice to have all these little steps. It looks very satisfying, I have to admit that, but for the sake of time, we're gonna go with a smaller one. And I would just advise you at home, if you're gonna try this, try to make a good test and just keep those. Like I have a whole basket here with all different ones, and those are all my testing. So if I'm gonna work on something, I have that on there. So let's go with this. And now we're gonna make it even smaller, because I want to have it just on a small piece. So I'm gonna see how much it is. I don't know, where's my glasses? There. So it's about 12. And here we have 6.8. I think that should be actually pretty fine. So I'm just gonna make a rectangle here in this shape, and I'm gonna say 6.8 and 120. Oh, and I forgot to turn this off. 6.8. You can't see any of the thing in your phone. Okay, because you're on your phone. I can zoom in if you like. Oh, you meant what I was showing on the wood. I will show that later on again. So now we're gonna put this one on here, and we're gonna go as big as it will physically allow us. We're not gonna use the entirety of it. I can optionally say, okay, I'm gonna make the text a little bit smaller by ungrouping this. And then I just put, like, I put the text here. And I'm gonna make it 5. Come on then. 5. And there also 5. I'm just gonna do that for all of them. There. And well, this speaks for, oh, speaks for itself. So I'm just rearranging a little bit. So we have enough space there. Then this one goes here. And this one goes here. It doesn't need to win the beauty prize. I know that sounds very silly from me, because I'm always very picky when it comes to stuff, but there we go. And I don't need to have this one, only that. Now it's a little bit bigger, right? There. Moving this down a little bit. Oh man. There. Just trying to line it up a little bit. Yeah. I can see that that goes wild when you try to write with autocorrect in German on a phone in English. Okay, so let me see if I have everything lined up nicely. There, I think that is as big as we are gonna be getting it. So this is what we're gonna do. This should all be on. So I select everything and then you can see it is actually on. So let me do this, and we group that again. So now it is one piece. And this one does not need to be engraved. So I'm gonna see if I can line up my... Now there's actually a catch here, because it also has two different sides. The one is more, it has more texture, and the other side doesn't. So we're gonna go with the non-texture or the less texture one. But let me quickly go to my machine cam so you guys can see both. My machine is not on for whatever reason today. Let me see if I can fix that. I do not know why that doesn't want to show. Let me see if I can. In there, maybe. Technical stuff, huh? Dun, dun, dun. Why is it not showing? I have oh, that's okay. That's all right. Sweet dreams, Ron. Take care of yourself, okay? I think I'm gonna need to. It's not working. I have no idea why it doesn't want to show me. Okay, I don't know why it doesn't want to work. I think I broke it. It was working earlier. No, I don't know. I think it just randomly died on me. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go to plan B because I'm having a grumpy camera that doesn't want to work today, and I can't exactly turn my PC off and on again. It's fine. We will find a way. Just gonna use this. Okay, now maybe. Shall I put on some music meanwhile so it's not so silent? Everything goes wrong. Let me fix that. Dun, dun, dun. This shouldn't be loud. There we go. Now that should work. I see that it's not going over me, so that is one. Now we're just gonna go to there. I hope it's gonna work. There we go. I just used a different camera. Haha. Won't let it get to me. Okay. That works. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna put the laser with the crosshair over the paper so it can measure how thick the paper is. Well, not so thick, of course, but it still needs to know the exact depth. So we'll start off with that. So gently move the laser head on top. And I'm just gonna click here in the top right, which you can't really see right now. Let me see, can I move that for you guys? I think this might be important to be able to see, right? No, I think you can almost see it. That's the downside. Maybe I want to change my screen still again. So, I'm not a professional. I'm not gonna act like one. Anyway, in the top right, you can click here on auto measure. So that's what we're gonna do now. And now it's resetting there on the little foot. And there we go. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the boundary, the processing area. And we're gonna just use a rectangle because it's nothing special. We don't have any curves or bits and bobs out of my area. So I'm just gonna use that. And on the front of my machine is the button, which I usually use it to start with. And that's also the one I'm gonna press to make sure that everything is laying straight. I can use just the laser for that. So from here to the bottom right there, that is the area I know is gonna be fine. I close the lid. So no zooming this time, so I hope you guys are going to be able to see everything. I'm pressing and marking, and I say done. So now I will take this entirety here, and I can move it a bit to there so you guys can see it better. So I make sure that it is on my marking area. So this is, I can't drag this. This is just the area that I designated as my processing area. So, and I'm gonna put this one on here. And that is how I'm gonna add it. I hope I did this one right. 30 by 200. We will see. So when I now click process, you will see I only have this and it will be done in 13 minutes. So let's just go and do that. And always keep an eye, of course, on the material, so you stop the process in case that anything catches fire or else goes wrong. So I'm gonna minimize this because otherwise you guys can't really see. And I'm just gonna put it on this so you guys can actually see which part it is doing. So currently it's the 500 speed and only 15 power. So that is the lightest that it will do. Can maybe do a light zooming. I hope that's clear enough. Now it's gonna do the second part, and meanwhile, while this is going, I'm actually gonna take this one and I'm just gonna make this one into the same as the other one. So we're gonna say again, material test array. Gonna go with 3 columns. Here you can also see, oh, there's no reference available yet. And we're gonna go just exactly the same. So the max power is 35, the minimum power is 15, the max speed is going to be 500, and the minimum speed is going to be 300. You will see everything is going to be like so. That's alright. Thank you for being there, Straw. Wishing you a good night's rest. So we're gonna try to make this one approximately as tiny as the other one. And we're gonna put everything closer to one another again. So just so that the machine doesn't have to travel so far, it's because that's not needed. See you later, Straw. So this is then gonna be the next part that we're gonna do just exactly aside of it. If we want, we can just do it like so. Oh, no, I don't want that. Oh. And this one we can set to cut. I'm just going to go with 100 power and 25 speed. I think I can even go maybe 50. Let's see if that works. This won't take so long. I can quickly check. It's in 8 minutes it should be done. So this is now the vector that it is doing. And I forgot actually to invert the image. So now you will actually also see what happens if you forget that. Pretty hard to see, isn't it? I think it's still visible. So let's quickly do this for the other part. So I'm gonna choose all of these. I hope I now pick them all. Can I do that differently? Yeah. So, and can I invert it? No. Edit, invert, edit, invert, edit, invert. It's gonna do it by hand. Oh, I don't need to go off of this. That's nice, actually. I knew that. There, now we inverted everything. You can't do that with the vector. So with a vector, I'm assuming that this was going to be the best one, so I'm just copying this one. If you want to do that with a vector, I'm going to quickly show you a nice little trick, right? So you're going to go to offset, then you put it on 0 and outer shapes only, and then you say confirm, and then you select everything and you say create compound, and now it is inside out. Oh, that's a little trick. It's nearly done, the last two. This one is now 35 power and 500 speed. don't know how well you guys can see it, but I can see that the bottom right is the 35 power and 200 speed, or 300 is definitely too much, because it actually gets darker instead of lighter. So funny thing is that when you work with the black paper, you actually need to go less is more, so you get a better engraving. So the lighter you go, or the faster, the prettier, the lighter the engraving is going to be, which you want. Okay, let's see if that one does it better. Did actually the music stop, or is it still going? Okay, it's still going. I can't hear it myself, so let's check the time. 1 minute and 53 seconds. Now it is doing the scoring. Hope that's going to be light enough. I actually think it's going to be a little bit hard to see, because I think actually the scoring goes quite intense. As we said, the less is better in this case. So I think it's actually darkening out too much. So what I will do is, because it's already 10 o'clock here in Denmark, so I will finish this off, then we're gonna take a look at it, and for the next stream we're gonna go with actually the bitmap. So I'm gonna keep you guys in tension for a little bit. Waiting a second till the fumes are extracted, and then we can take a better look at it. Okay, now let me quickly do something else before we move on, because I kind of want to cut this one. So this one is still on. I don't want that. Everything is still on. I thought I turned it off. And now this one on. Now I only have this one. So let me quickly do that. That was quickly. Perfect. little bit of distance here so you guys can see that better. So I hope it's good to see now, because inside it was a little bit too much. Yeah, as you can see, these are like too dark, and I actually think that you always kind of want to go with highest speed, lowest power possible to save resources and time. And I actually think that this one really nailed it. Been really beautiful, really light. So that actually works really well. I will quickly show you guys the best version of that on the other side. And then we're gonna call it a day. So finished. This one we turn off. And now we're just gonna do this one. And we said 500 by 15. 15 and 500. So that is the one that we're gonna do. We're gonna make it slightly bigger. And then we're gonna give it a little text with that. 500 by 15. I engrave that there below the key. Oh, then we need to. Okay, that one was on automatically, but this one still needs one. So now you can see if I click somewhere in the screen, you will see that. How long will this take? 3 minutes and 36 seconds. Now you can see how it was supposed to look. There you can see the difference. When you engrave on black, you need to invert the image, because now you're getting a perfectly white kitten on top of the black paper. So it's very counterintuitive, because you see black on the screen and then you get white. But yeah, that is something that you will learn along the way and forget 100 million times, just like I do, most likely. There comes the last little bit. The last bit is not so intense because it is mostly just a line. and then in 2 days, on Thursday, we're gonna do the bitmap version, and then we can see what is better on black cardstock, bitmap, or vector. There comes the little text, and that will be it. There we go. Finished, and let's see what happens. Now that looks really nice, right? And that is how it was supposed to be. So on the back side, you can see them. And on the other side, the inverted kitten. I think it became pretty cool. So for next time, we're gonna go and do the entirety of the bitmap version. So I will show you the file once more. Let's put this one aside. So we're gonna work with this one. And then we're gonna put all this, and we're gonna put that on this part of the paper. So I will show you guys a little bit on here. But let me go to the final scene. Now you can see it better. And you can see, because it had too much power, you can barely see the settings, because they came out too dark, and we don't want the paper to scorch. We don't want it to be black. We just want it to take off the layer so it would reveal the light color. And that's also what you can see in these areas. You see that here actually the dark becomes too dark, and the faster we go, the lighter it became. And actually with the least power, the result actually became the most beautiful one. And then here it is on the side with the most relief. You can see how she turned out when we actually did invert her. So I think it's all in all a good test. Now we know how it looks with vector, and we're gonna see how it will look on cardstock, because now you can see here there is no shades, no nothing. Everything has exactly the same power. So, and that is gonna make a huge difference when we're gonna use the bitmap. So, but that is all gonna be for Thursday. So thank you guys for watching, and see you hopefully